What's up, guys? Howie, what are you doing? What are you doing, Howie? Can we do something? Please? Baby? Let's talk about it.
Let's go! This ain't the fuck like this game he stinks!
Oh shit!
It's gone!
What is up, guys? Welcome to another edition of Fan Friday. As always, I'm your host, Jake Friel, along with Tom Mack, Pete down below. No Dran's free off this week. He's a little under the weather. He should be back with us next week. But a lot to talk about. NFL free agency, Eagles doing nothing really aside from
Not true.
Haason Reddick, Zach Pascal, and bringing in Derek Barnett, which some people hate it. Some people are kind of whatever about it, like myself. I don't really care about it. But before we get into all that, Fan Friday is brought to you by Gleason's Bar. Gleason's Bar is located at 6700 Mill Creek Avenue in Levittown, PA. Use promo code A2D for 10% off your order whenever you dine in, take out, or order online. The promo code again is A2D for 10% off your order when you dine in, take out, or order online. And before we get to our poll question real quick, if I can find it, here it is. Our poll question for tonight is also brought to you by All Campus. All Campus is giving 20% off everything in their store to our A2D members, including hats, shirts, team cornhole sets, and a lot more to our A2D members. So just become a member, $9.99 a month. Go to All Campus down in Ocean City, New Jersey. Tell John, be like, hey, I'm an A2D member. Be like, all right, 20% off, bang. Hat, shirt. Listen, whatever hat you can think of, as far as like college teams go or professional sports teams, John, I can guarantee you, John has it or he'll order it specifically for you. So John will take care of you. The poll question for tonight: the Philadelphia Eagles have been a major disappointment in free agency. Agree or disagree? What do you say, Pete?
So I've seen everyone kind of freak out, and this is like I was getting people were just driving me crazy. So I was literally just like making a whole thread about this, about how there's still tons of options out there, and you know we are better. In my honest opinion, we're a better team now than we were at the start last season. But like I understand people freaking out about it. Like I get it. Like it's not sexy right now. There's no big splashes, you know, there's no all-star wide receiver, you know, you can't be like, oh my God, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, or Allen Robinson, or whatever. Like, I get that. Like, I won't say it's a disappointment. It's just boring. Like, and that's what it's been thus far. It's a boring, no splash offseason as of right now. Mm-hmm. But there's still tons of players available. There's tons of guys you can get to improve the wide receiver room if you want to go that route. We could possibly go out and get Devontae Parker for pennies on the dollar. You could still trade for Calvin Ridley if you give a shit about that. Like if you want to wait, because once again, if that had never happened, Calvin Ridley is supposed to be an Eagle right now.
Yep.
So everyone's like, oh, there's no plan. Howie has no plan. I'm like, okay. So he tried to go in for safety. Okay, that's a need. He tried to go in on multiple wide receivers. Okay, that's a need. Mm-hmm. He's in on corners because we need the CB2. You know, there's a plan. We're going after positions of need. It's just there's a price range. Like this is not the year where you go cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. You know what I mean?
Right.
The cap space is limited. Next year, you're looking at 50, 60 million.
Off the books, yep.
Off the books. That's when you go crazy bananas. Like, that is when you throw everything to the wall and, like, said, fuck it, let's go. Mm-hmm. Like, you're also I also don't think people understand. It's like you're going to have 10 picks in April. You're going to have 10 picks in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have 3 first-round picks in the first round, and you're going to have a second-round pick, and you're going to have 4 picks in the top 60. Like, you're going to have every opportunity to improve this football team. Like, so I won't say it's a disappointment. It's just been boring. Like,
right.
Haason Reddick is a huge addition. Like, huge. Like, I don't really give a fuck about Derek Barnett coming back. My best guess is the fact that they're not talking about the number means that it's low as shit.
Yeah.
So if I'm bringing him back at like 2 years, $5 million, 2 years, $6 million, which is basically a Ryan Kerrigan contract, and he's basically my Ryan Kerrigan from last season.
That's an upgrade.
I'm fine with it. Like, Kerrigan gave you 0.5 sacks last year?
I think we're.
You know what?
One.
Does it matter? I mean, Jesus, he was an old man that, like, literally, because we was in fear of him for so long when he finally came to Philly, and we were thinking we was going to get like a 20 sack game or something like that, but he gave us nothing. He was a tumbleweed out there. And now people want to say that he was used wrong, but it's one of those lines where, hey,
got 2 sacks.
We was on the roll of always bringing that veteran defensive end.
Yeah.
From Chris Long to Barnett. And then, we thought we was going to get one more, and it flopped on us. Yeah. So I take the Derek Barnett signing as one of those signings. It's depth in the rotation. Yeah, Vinny Curry.
That's exactly my thought process with it. Can he be Vinny Curry to get you 3 to 4 sacks off the bench, and give Haason Reddick a little bit of leeway? Like, can you give him a little bit of rest? And the Zach Pascal thing. Well, I knew it was coming. Jake, how long have I been saying they're going to sign Zach Pascal?
Well, I think a lot of us, to be fair, have been saying it because it's literally the most obvious.
Yeah, I mean, he's his old,
signing in team history.
His old wide receiver. Like, pretty much, he's going to be as the highest ceiling I've seen him being is like a Jason Avant.
Yes, they brought that.
That's fine. That's fine with me.
That third wide receiver that's always on the field, like what JJ Arcega was supposed to be.
Yes.
Just that reliable hands guy.
Yeah.
Move the chains. And most definitely, I mean, if he knows his scheme and blocking scheme, that's what the man is going to really do and not really have to come off the field. Like, that's where I think Sirianni's offense and a little bit of the defense, I see why, Haason Reddick can be is a valuable piece, because you want pieces to where when you want to run for the offense, for instance, especially your wide receivers, to do the grimy work, get the blocks in, but also don't really come off the field because I don't want to try to tell my hand of if I'm doing a run play or passing play. And then on defense, Gannon wants to pretty much incorporate, I don't want to say it like that, like a 3-4 attacking scheme. Like, he pretty much always want to either turn that linebacker or the DN to put his hand in the dirt, or sometimes drop back in coverage.
Yep.
So that's what Haason Reddick can give you, but I don't think you need like another linebacker like that, because I see him only doing it on one side, like with Avery. Like, that's what he was, he was supposed to be our Haason Reddick, but it just didn't pan out.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Pascal, I think people are overreacting to him a little bit. And I think they're underrating him. Like, I'm not going off of what PFF is saying. He was way better than Jalen Reagor. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Like, playing with Carson Wentz killed him last year.
Man,
what he's going to give you is he's going to give you a veteran presence, which you need. He's going to give you solid route running, which is great. He's going to be a good blocker, which you need in this run game and the passing game. And he's going to give you a red zone threat, something we had fucking none of last year.
Well, I would say I'd still gotta agree to the poll because I thought like we would at least grab one big name.
I mean, they
You
still
said
can.
how. Yeah, I mean it's still out there, but I just think the market really just got set so differently, and
Right.
out of Howie's kind of like he didn't think like the wide receiver price market was going to be like that because Christian Kirk, and you understand why the Jaguars did it because you're trying to tell a player to come to Jacksonville.
Right.
So you got to kind of throw out big money, but by it being for Christian Kirk, so I was really, like I said, I was on the Chark train. I don't know why he chose Detroit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one hit the soul. But and the safety is the one thing we can't say. How he's been in is trying to negotiate. We at least hearing that the Eagles were there, and by us not getting Marcus Williams, it sucks. But seeing how much he got, how much he went for, I'm actually glad.
Yeah.
Like if you look, like I don't think people talk about how good Harris was because they'll see, because this is just Philadelphia in general. We'll see one or two bad plays and be like, oh, he's garbage. If you look at his stats, he gave up 1 touchdown in 13 games. He had like a 70-something passer rating when they were throwing to him, and gave up less than 500 yards in 13 games. Like,
yeah.
Are you serious? I'll take that all fucking day long. The safety group last year as a whole between him and Barnett allowed 1 touchdown.
Oh, matter of fact, I mean,
I would bring Barnett.
No
problem running
the safety. The overall safety position wasn't bad last year. I mean, it was just one of those. I would say this: it was Kayvon Wallace was just a wet blanket. Like we all did a little bit. We had higher expectations for him. Mike Epps, I mean, you can't say that he didn't lay the wood.
Epps.
Oh,
you're thinking of the comedian.
Yeah, I can't help it.
Greg!
Exactly, man. Too many Epps, man.
He didn't have a bad year though. He was okay.
No, he was actually a really solid number 3, and it's another guy they've developed at the position.
Yeah, I'm glad we kept him, and that's why what's it called Brisker from Penn State.
I wouldn't mind him.
I wouldn't mind him either.
Yeah, we went to So by everybody, a quick little side note: we're not getting no Pickett. That was definitely a smokescreen.
I think it was a smokescreen. I would have
maybe.
I wouldn't mind. If they drafted Pickett, I wouldn't hate it because I really like his ceiling. But he's the quarterback I like the most in the draft, and I still wouldn't draft one. Like that should tell you everything. What's funny is that people on Twitter, they seem to think that I'm a Jalen Hurts fanboy, and it's clear they don't watch this show.
Man,
it's clear they don't watch the show because I'm literally his biggest fucking critic.
Well, I mean, well, I don't know. Dan is hard on him, so I was Dan.
A lot of us are hard on him.
I mean, we're all hard on him, but I don't think Dan was hammering them as hard as I was in some of those early fucking weeks, man.
Yeah, it was bad. But so with me, and then after this we'll get to the comments because the comments are just flying right now. I'm gonna disagree. And again, has it been anything splashy? No, aside from like the Haason Reddick signing, which was a really nice signing. I mean, the rest is just kind of, and it tells me that they're not ready yet, and we know that. But what I mean is, they're just not confident, and they know they're not going to win anything this year. But my only issue is, and I'll preface this, is that if you want to know what you're going to get out of Jalen Hurts this year, because it's more likely than not will be his last year here. Why haven't we brought any help in? I know, and again, I know we've tried to get guys in here and stuff like that, but if you want Hurts to perform at his top level and supposedly be your guy or prove to be your guy, need to get help in here.
Well,
You need to get help in here.
I got a little to that is, I guess you don't want to bring in such a veteran wide receiver to like overtake that locker room, because you want it, what Davion Smith did, you want that to kind of be his locker room.
Davante,
Like,
yeah.
I think, yeah, you kind of still want the youth movement, and you want them to like take the leaders. I mean, that's what you want Alabama players to be, or what you're getting from Alabama players, like future leaders,
Right.
especially when it comes to the football. So that's why like the Allen Robinson kind of like level of veteran wide receiver to come in and not take over per se. Like if you were to get like an Odell, yeah, you want just that veteran to help guide him. I think Zach Pascal is like, hey, this is your team, but I'm here to support.
I don't think it
not
has
that wide
anything.
receiver. Go ahead. And matter of fact, go ahead. Now they want to take over.
I don't think it has anything to do with the leadership thing. Like they don't want other people to outshine Davante. I think it has everything to do with the fact that they just want a proven leader in the room. They want someone under 30 that they can still develop for the next 2 to 3 years. And they want someone who can improve the wide receiver room. Because if they just wanted a guy, like there's tons of guys over 30 they could go get. They get AJ Green. They could go get Emmanuel Sanders. Like there's tons of guys who are over 30 if they wanted to, like, because look, I'm not going to get mad if they signed Emmanuel Sanders for 1 year. I wouldn't get mad. If they signed AJ Green, I wouldn't get mad. But it's clear that's just not the direction they're going.
Right.
It's because one big thing I don't think people are talking about enough. They're not talking about how Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave are talking about the Eagles and the way they're talking about the Eagles.
Yeah.
Like Chris Olave
because they wanted to go to a young team and become something. That's why I'm like, I see that becoming like, I really see that drafting a wide receiver now.
Oh, I see it.
In any other, here's the thing. In any other draft, I would say we shouldn't do it. But we have 3 first-round picks. You can splurge a little bit. Like you can still get your. If I leave this draft with Chris Olave or Garrett Wilson and like Jordan Davis,
yes, please.
And then I get the extra first-round pick next year.
Yeah, because they're not holding on to all 3.
And then whatever like stud. Let's say, you know what? Fuck it. Let's say you get David Ojabo in the 2nd round.
Which could happen. And to be honest, that's one of the more Eagles moves that we would see.
Yeah, that's definitely like an Eagles. It's like our second rounders are becoming known for that. It's like, let's go ahead and take a guy that's, tore his ACL.
Yeah, but like,
let's see what he could develop, because
like
he fell out
Dickerson,
the top 10.
who had injury issues.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, sorry.
So that's a solid draft. That's a good draft. And like, let's say you trade for Devontae Parker as well. You get Quez, Devonta, Pascal, Parker, and a Wilson.
Well, I could say this much from trying to do the draft simulator has become extremely fun.
Yes,
because I did like a straight up one, and since we brought back Derek Barnett, I was because you can go so many ways. You really could. And where we're sitting at from 15, we can go in so many options. I mean, from Jermaine Johnson being available.
We can go up, we can go down, we can go wherever.
And by me playing with it, I racked up, if you want to talk about 2023, I at least had 2 second rounders or even a first rounder for that. I had moved into the top 10. This is a draft where Howie's going to play.
Yep.
And especially how people are starting to feel about draft picks or even a quarterback.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I can see us. We could, for some reason, be drafting like 3 times in the later rounds.
So I have
in the late part of the first round.
All right, Todd. I keep interrupting you, and I don't mean to do that. It's like
No, that's your thing, Pete.
no,
I mean,
I don't mean to. I don't mean to do
thing,
it.
man.
That is
I
your
don't
thing.
mean to do it. Like I know Dan in the early days was getting mad, but I'm just like, it's hard with the format.
You're the little kid in the candy store. You're the guy that you're like Fred Flintstone sliding down the damn dinosaur tail. Just couldn't wait to get on Fan Friday to voice some Eagle stuff. It's okay. We all.
I was bitch.
We
I
all
literally go to the bathroom at work and I just bitch about shit. I'm like, fuck, dude, it sucks. Oh man, they're just like, dude, are you talking to yourself? My one coworker is like, dude, are you talking to yourself? I'm like, no.
Maybe.
Nah, you haven't.
Is it weird? He's like, no. Then yes, I was.
Nah, just gotta, you said, what did you eat? It's like, man, you're having a fight with it, but we're gonna make it together.
So I actually talked to Jake about this because I saw someone reference this online on Twitter, and they're just like, because the Chiefs, they need a wide receiver. So 19, would you do this? Because this is my feeling. 19 and Andre Dillard for the Chiefs 29 and 30.
So we're trading back.
Yeah, we're trading back at 19 because you're already going to get your guys at 15 and 16.
And what are we getting again?
You're getting the 29th and 30th pick.
Oh, right, they do it.
Because my
I don't think they
is,
do it though. That's the other thing. I don't think the Chiefs would do it.
Well, think about it. You could possibly get Jameson Williams.
Okay.
No, I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't know, but let's get into the comments.
Well, I don't want
to. Let's get to the comments. But
I've been neglecting the fam. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Real quick, our first comment of the night is brought to you by Manscaped. Get 20% off plus free shipping with promo code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. The promo code again is A2D for 20% off plus free shipping. Jonathan Davies says hello.
What's up?
Robert says what's up. What's up, Robert? Rob Povia from the Hockey Happy Hour. You can check those guys out on Tuesday nights. What's up, Pove? David Rosca says what's up.
Why would you make people talk hockey?
John says he disagrees with the poll. That's fine.
Smart man.
Pove says, surprisingly, I'm going to disagree with the poll. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. No, that's absolutely true. It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Free agency's hardly ever won in the first stage.
Robert says he hates Barnett.
Everyone hates Barnett. But if the contract is like super cheap, who cares?
I mean, it was like the Twilight Zone seeing him jump off sides. It was.
Matt
it was
says
terrible.
the Barnett signing makes zero sense. I mean, it's a guy who's.
It makes a lot of sense if the price is right.
Yeah, and from what we're hearing, like I think we've said on a bunch of shows a million times, the fact that we haven't heard his numbers yet, and the fact that his agent isn't bragging about it yet, tells me he didn't get paid anything. So again, he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna start. He'll be your third or fourth guy on the line. So I'm not.
Most definitely. No, he's not
worried about it because we're gonna draft a D lineman or something like that. So, and then you have Brandon Graham coming back. So again, as a depth guy, I'm fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it.
And Pete, I'm sorry if I see us getting it, either if Davante White, Trayvon Walker, or Jordan Davis is all three of them are sitting at 15.
It's so tough.
It's Jordan Davis.
No, it's Trayvon Walker.
It's not. It's Jordan Davis.
Either one. I'm not going to be mad.
Yeah.
I'll be fine with
it's
either
like
one.
the versatility that Wyatt. Wyatt. Wyatt, right?
He's just fan. Now that we finally know he's not 45, which Jake was spreading fake news up there.
No. It wasn't me that started it. It was Greg.
I'm sorry. You believed him. I'm sorry.
Wikipedia page
for like 6 weeks.
Yeah, because we all relied on Greg with his. With this credible information that we learned.
Google not a thing in your house?
It's.
Hey, the man is mammoth. Okay, it's really believable. Okay.
To quote Peacemaker, you mean people on the internet lie?
Yeah.
What up, bro?
Happy Hour says Todd's in the house. Yup.
Hey, what's up, man?
Frank Vespi from A2D Wednesday nights. He says, "Evening, guys. How do you feel about Peacock?" God damn it.
What's wrong? I don't.
So it's the fact that St. Peter's, they're playing Purdue right now, and St. Peter's is their school mascot is the Peacocks, and also they're playing Purdue right now.
I'm a peacock, Captain. You gotta let me fly.
And today's also National Peacock Day. So,
Oh wow! So
Are we
St.
sponsored by
St.
Peacock
Peter's
now?
And St. Peter's is a 13-point underdog, which the degenerate gambler that I am, I bet I bet the money line for St. Peter's. It's actually been pretty close. I'm not gonna lie. It's
I'm not
pretty close.
right
It's been
now.
a pretty good game. So
Right now, my betting lines are closed. North Carolina made it to the Sweet 16. I'm not even going to watch the damn game. Like when we hit Sweet 16, I'm sorry, I get superstitious like hell. I gotta win
one last title and then call it a career.
I mean, it could happen.
No,
Jonathan says
he loves those Jordans, baby. You got to come in through the door.
3 first round picks. Again, John.
Okay.
The first round picks are fine, but it depends on who we're getting. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who I'm getting yet. No, and
I like everyone's argument. They're just like, oh, well, we can't draft, so we got to trade them away. And I'm like, I don't know. Devonta Smith's pretty good. I like Zach Ertz. Dallas Goedert, Vontae Maddox. Like, come on, like, no one's perfect. No one's perfect when it comes to drafting, but it's just like.
But no, I mean, you gotta truly do your research. You can tell when a player is going to pop, or you see like his game that can translate to the NFL. I mean, you don't talk about these stars that everybody in free agency wants to get if you didn't draft them.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. That's why I'm like, it's kind of asinine sometimes for me. It's like you're not wanting a Marcus Williams or if Mathis. I remember I wanted him in the third round. We got damn Barkley instead, but nobody remembers that. But look how productive he's been. I mean, sometimes you can just tell a superstar when he's in the draft, and hey, we just got to draft well. That's where it comes down to. And how he's been on a roll. He got his little
extension. Minus, look, obviously, Jim Rager has sucked, but if you look at the last 2 drafts, his hit to miss ratio has been pretty good. Like
these past couple years, he hasn't been too bad. Let's go through more of the comments.
Yeah, back to the comments.
Brian Daly says, I agree with the poll. I like the Reddick signing, but after that, it was very disappointing. Again, it's we'll say. I mean, there's still plenty of guys out there. Again, Bobby Wagner looks like he'll sign out. It looks like he might be going to the Ravens. He has a workout with the Ravens, so we'll see.
Well, at least he didn't go to the Rams. Jesus.
Yeah. Disappointing. I was hoping he'd go to the Rams.
I mean, he still could. He still could. It's definitely possible. But again, the Ravens are known for their defense and that whole thing. So
and Lamar Jackson choking in the playoffs.
Exactly. It won't be the defense's fault. It'll be Lamar's for the millionth time.
Yeah, it's his fault when he's not when he doesn't have like fourth quarter blowout touchdowns.
Yeah.
Hey, that's when you're the guy.
Pete Evans from Birds of a Feather. You can check him out on Thursdays. He says, Jake Todd, the other Pete. What's up, fam? I definitely agree with the poll. Thinks it's a disappointment.
The other Pete.
Chuck's Miranda from Birds of a Feather. He says, what's up, gentlemen? What's up, Chuck?
As long as y'all don't have a Highlander fight, I mean, everything's all good.
Yeah. Bryce Blackwell says, what's up,
that's why me and Pete should start her own show. And we're just going to call it The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Adventures of Pete and Pete.
We might be sued by like episode 3. Nickelodeon's just like, wait, what the fuck? Why is there another Adventures of Pete and Pete?
Or on Brandon Graham. Yeah, John. I mean, he's coming back. He's coming back this year.
I mean, I think he's fine, honestly, because didn't he get hurt like week 3?
He tore his Achilles. I think he tore his Achilles in the Kansas City game. It was the Kansas City game, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so. I think it was the
I know
The
we were at
Niners-
home. I know that.
I know. I thought it was the Niners game.
You know what? I think it was the Niners. I think you're correct.
Yeah, I was like, it was either second or third game.
Yeah, Chuck says he's agrees the poll is disappointing so far, but it's not over yet, and they can still turn things around with their plan B, aka a great draft. Yeah, absolutely. Just depends on if they actually hit on the picks. And Pete adds to it saying, the thought process is flawed. Flawed though, Pete. These 10 picks, if they make them all, doesn't mean the rebuild is guaranteed. Which means
it doesn't mean it's guaranteed. But if you leave this draft with 4 or 5 solid players, that's more players that you don't have to replace in free agency next year.
That's true.
And those are guys on your team who are impact players. Like last year, you can look at it and be like, you got Devonta Smith, impact player. Dickerson, impact player. Milton Williams is trending in the right direction. Who's the running back?
Who?
That we drafted.
Oh, Kenneth Gainwell.
Yeah, Gainwell's looking really nice. Not to mention one of the late round linebackers we had is looking honestly solid.
Oh, his name. I always forget. Oh my God, what is
Well, Singleton's gone.
No, I'm not talking about Singleton. He's gone.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Davion Taylor. That's who it was.
I wasn't talking about. Taylor's next, but I was talking about one of the guys they drafted later on. But
well, I mean, Edwards
Johnson. That's who it is.
Who?
Johnson.
Oh, the defensive end.
Yeah. From I think he was USC. I think right.
Yep.
I think it was USC.
UNCW, or was it Woman or?
It was USC. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Chucks also says, "Here's the thing: you can't help it if guys don't want to come here, or if the teams don't want to trade with us. So it is what it is. Key thing is hitting on the draft. Yeah, no, absolutely.
There you go.
Bring in your own guys, and you won't have to dive into free agency as much.
I mean, this is just one. We're just not used to.
Fuck out of here! Fuck yourself.
It's a phenomenal name. It's a phenomenal name. I had to put it up just because of the name. That's hilarious.
I think we should ban this person for at least a month.
Oh my goodness, it'll be all right. You'll have your fart whistle while you're watching your USA football down in Alabama.
Yeah, your USFL.
Yeah. USFL. Who's your team again?
The Stars.
Philadelphia Stars. That's who it
The
was.
stars are bright, a big at night.
Oh God.
Oh wow.
Lord help me.
Yes.
The Texas.
I'm sorry, Jake, but I at least wanted to get it out of the way. You gotta.
Yeah, it's usually Pete's job to bring up.
Yeah, exactly.
I already.
Oh, I know.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Wing says Eagles are meeting with Sauce. He won't be on the board. The Eagles QB coach met with Pickett. He'll be going to Carolina, which could be true.
Well, it's this magical thing where it's like when you have 3 first-round picks, where they're not drafting fucking Devin Lloyd. When you have 3 first-round picks, you can trade up and get him.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Wing's other comment, he said Jordan Davis, Devin Lloyd, don't overthink it. Listen,
you're not drafting.
If we take all Georgia guys in the first round, I'm fine. I'm perfectly
There you go. That's
sure. If Devin Lloyd switches to defensive end, Howie will draft him.
Man,
and they'll most likely go defensive line in the first round.
Yeah, that's why it's gonna be Jordan Davis. It'll be Jordan Davis. They'll probably draft a wide receiver, and that third pick, I think they'll trade down to like 27, 28 or something, and maybe make one more pick.
Yeah.
If they keep it, that's the only way I can see them keeping it.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, them interviewing Sauce. Hey, I'll trade up for Sauce.
Well, we don't.
I love Sauce.
So
that's fine. We're still not taking him. He's a linebacker. We're not taking a linebacker.
Sauce is a cornerback.
No, he's talking about
Devin Lloyd. When we actually draft a linebacker in the first round, then I'll believe the whole linebacker thing.
Oh well,
how are you gonna?
How do you have
Batman
no
was
fucking
so good.
taste? How do you have no taste?
Batman was so good. I don't know what you're talking
It was
about.
amazing. It was
What do you
amazing.
mean,
He's
meh?
the Batman. You got the
So
best
good.
Batman director.
See,
So good.
no, what it is, like if they would have put in that Joker scene, then everybody would have
Yeah, I
been
was
going.
fine that they left that out. To be
See,
honest,
I like that they
Yeah.
left it out because it would have been so distracting. Because it would have been in the middle of the fucking movie.
yeah, and everyone would have been like, "Oh, when's the next time we're going to see Joker?"
Yeah, like I would have been so distracted.
But that's what everybody.
I like how they did it at the end of the movie. They hinted at him at the end of the movie. I like that.
Yeah,
I think they'll have him show up in the Arkham show.
Yeah, which could happen for sure.
Yep.
Jesse Davis says Jordan Davis, Lloyd, and Linderbaum. If Linderbaum is gone, I would take. Ooh, I like McDuffie.
no,
too.
I am not taking no McDuffie and Lynn.
I like McDuffie.
Well, I do not want a center. Okay,
I mean, I'm not saying.
listen.
Look, I'm not saying you
against
should
it.
draft him, but he's a top 10 talent. If you can get him at 15, 16, or 19,
Yes, please.
I understand why people would be upset, but I'm not going to because he's gonna. I know he's probably high on their draft board. They just don't think there'd be any way of getting him.
Yeah, and we know how this team operates.
Yeah,
It's always
love
the line of
offensive
scrimmage.
linemen.
It's always defensive lineman or offensive lineman.
Yes,
That's just
exactly.
how this team's always been built since
but-
we've had Andy. That's just how it is.
I mean, that's what I'm
Value
saying.
those
I understand our philosophy, but when you got the great offensive line coach,
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you, Todd.
he
I'm
took
with
a
you.
guy that never played motherfucking football, people.
And
he's on the Masked Singer.
I was gonna say he's on the Masked Singer.
Yeah, right.
He's on the Masked Singer singing his ass off, but he's our dominant offensive tackle.
That's
Okay?
so insane.
So please, I mean, I'm glad he's a generational center, but this is a too important draft to just say, oh, we got a generational center out of it. No,
if you're getting a top 10 player in the draft is a top 10 player in the draft.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, again, if we take Linderbaum, I'm fine.
yeah, I have no I'm not
least-
gonna be mad. Like I understand other people will be upset, but I'm just
I would.
I wouldn't be because I understand his talent and I know where people have him ranked.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I understand too. But
If this is a center who's viewed to be like a guy who's supposed to go 34 or 35, and you take him at 15,
You have to be fucking kidding me. I love our fans so much.
Peacocks
I love this.
are marching
I love this
down
so
the
much.
hill.
Emotional support.
We are the Peacocks of UCLA.
God.
I love how he's got his completely stuff.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
But he
I
got
love
it
it here.
completely out there like this. Hey, I'm
it's
here
great.
for you.
Emotional support Peacock on National Peacock Day. What a world we live in.
He's
St.
just
Peter's
letting it be
Peacocks
known.
are playing Purdue. They're beating Purdue right now. Oh, I love it here.
Oh,
Listen, if I
wow.
win my bet, I'll be so happy. That'll make my weekend.
Hell yeah.
They're at the free throw. Okay, cool. Let's go.
Sounds like you got a nice couple of stacks of Mountain Dew over there on it.
Yes, sir. Not that diet shit. Real
Yeah,
Mountain Dew.
yeah,
Real
exactly.
Mountain Dew.
Point.
I'm like this. We fat boys, man. We drinking that real shit. I ain't no damn
Hey.
skip there. I ain't doing
Yes,
no
sir.
diet.
I think if the Cowboys keep trending the way they're doing it, Skip's killing himself on there.
I mean, he did that whole breathing exercise on his Twitter account, so it wouldn't shock me.
He is not doing good. He is not looking good right now.
Yeah, they've gotten worse.
Yeah, right.
And again, the Cowboys could draft a wide receiver too, which I think more than likely will happen. But we'll see.
In what? Where are they gonna?
Don't have the cap money to make
Bingo.
Yeah, but again, you have Howie Roseman. So like when everyone worries about the cap, I don't worry about it because there's one thing that Howie's really good at is the cap. So
that's why I'm seeing like how he's working this free agency is that's what I'm saying is underwhelming.
Yeah.
But you see that he's not going crazy with the money, which showed that I'm actually glad. We didn't have no dream team kind of scenario where he was just gonna go just here. You have some money, you have talent, you come here. And we don't end up with nothing. So he didn't put us through that again, but he's definitely looking at it really down the road, like 5 years, 6 years down the road, and seeing how everything plays out, and bringing back, Fletch, Kelsey, even Barnett, keeping our guys here. He's still keeping at least a core, but also looking that we, filling depth. Like that's why, like with Fletcher Cox, we knew that was more of a depth move. He's still Fletcher Cox, but we know he's not starting Fletcher Cox.
I would have let him walk. That's just me. My personal opinion.
I would have too, but like once again, if the price is right.
See, if I would have let him walk, then I need to draft Jordan Davis and Wyatt. Wyatt. So,
oh no, I hear you.
So
it just pushes it down the road another year. That's the only.
Yeah, that's why I see if we win like a defensive end, defensive tackle, fingers crossed, a linebacker. I don't care, Pete.
You're still not doing it. It's okay. When it finally happens, I'll take the egg, I'll take the L. But it's just like they haven't done it since fucking 1979.
There's always a There's always a time to do it, Pete. Let's go. 63-59. St. Peter's is up.
Like my dad was still in high school. The Eagles hadn't made their first Super Bowl.
Man, hey.
Can't wait. And by the way, Jesse, listen, I'm right there with you. I want that dominant O-line up front. Doesn't matter what running back is back there. 5-yard splashes every play. I'm right there with you. I want that dominant O-line.
Hey, we were starting to do that when the offensive line, when we had like, what was it? I'll say our core was Johnson, Herbig, Kelsey, Dickerson, and Malata. When they had that little stretch of games like that, we was the number one running attack because it was.
Oh yeah.
So
who's playing right now?
I'm glad we brought back Nate Herbig.
Peters and Purdue.
Like that's what I'm saying. There's not much more. I mean, we can always pick up a later round offensive lineman. That's why I'm like, even our bench offensive line guys perform. I think we got a pretty dominant O-line.
No, I'm with you, but again, my whole thing is, and I think Jesse, I have to catch up to all the comments, but I can guarantee you, Jesse will agree with me, is that I want to make our strength even stronger. And again, it's no shot at Jason Kelsey. It's just the fact that he's not going to be here next year and filling a hole for a potential future Hall of Famer. It's going to be tough. So again, when you have the level of talent that Linderbaum is, you probably won't see a major transition between Jason Kelsey and Linderbaum, because then you can just insert Linderbaum next year, or God forbid if Kelsey gets hurt, you can just throw him right in there, and then you're pretty much good to go. That's how I look at it. Anyway.
Wow, that's weird. It's not even in my on my app right now. That's weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Chuck even says, "Why wouldn't you want Linder?"
Exactly.
Mr. Wink says Linder is a monster, but he'll be gone. Yeah, you're probably right.
Will.
You're probably right.
Once again,
he needs to be gone. I don't want him.
We'll take him in Midnight Green, baby.
Now we're all blowing Linderbaum. I love it.
Exactly.
I love it.
All pros.
I love it.
Oh my goodness.
All pros, baby.
I'm with you.
Yes,
it's a perfect word to the apparent Jason. Yeah, like I just said. Yeah.
And then you don't have to force what's his name to go to center. You can just keep him at guard.
That's basically my whole thing, Pete. I don't.
But that's why I'm like, y'all forget about Isaac Seumalo.
I don't have to move Isaac Seumalo to center. I can keep him at guard and keep playing well at guard.
Right, and then
but I'm not breaking up the Dickerson and Malata. Like that left side is solidified. I do not want to mess with that.
What do you mean? How are you breaking anything up?
Because Isaac Seumalo was the starter, and trying to keep him at guard would be pointless. Like right now, he knows he's looking at rotational position.
Seumalo has primarily played at guard, and he's been played well at guard.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like I'd rather have Isaac Seumalo move to center, keep Dickerson Mailata, and then keep Herbig and freaking Johnson.
Herbig is not shown he can stay healthy. Neither has Seumalo the last few years. Also, I'm willing to risk it with Linderbaum if I can get him and not trade up for him. Then Isaac Seumalo, like I'm that sure that this kid will be a once in a game changer or O-line. Like,
okay, so
let's go. 15.6 seconds left. Let's go.
Ooh. Hey, you better hear Jake. You better
Purdue's
hear Jake
going to the line. Purdue's going to the line.
Nah, but man, you can always make a strength, stronger. But where you got too many holes, it's not.
Best player is best player. I don't like. I don't really care.
So hey, Are you gonna say the one? Was Davis or Wyatt? You gonna take Linderbaum over one of them big boys?
I like. If he's higher on their board, I'd consider. But here's the thing: you have 15.
Which one would you take?
You trust your board. When you don't trust your board,
who you taking? Are you taking Linderbaum or Davis or Wyatt?
Here's why you trust your fucking board. You have 20. If you don't trust your board, you get 20-14, where you get like fucking Marcus Smith and Jordan Matthews.
No, that's what happens when you want to play favoritism and talking about your scheme. That's where that came, that Chip Kelly bull crap. But anyway, if for 15, the first pick and Linderbaum and Davis and Wyatt is on the fucking still on the board,
I would take Jordan Davis because I think he's a bigger fit. But here's the thing: if they ended up picking
that's all you got. That's all I wanted. I didn't need no other explanation.
Here's the thing.
There's nothing else.
I think Jordan Davis is higher on most people's draft boards than I think Linderbaum is. However, I still think Linderbaum is a top 10 pick. And if you picked him at 15, I have no problem with the rationale because I understand why they would pick him, how other teams view him. Relax over there.
Fucking go.
Fucking whitest motherfucker ever over there.
Let's go. Let's go. Give me my money. Let's go. National Peacock Day. I tried telling you. Tried telling you guys in the chat, Pete. Tried telling you.
Yeah, I should have listened to him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
The last few bets didn't really pay out, so that was probably
Jake's gonna have to make a little special cameo in the Money podcast.
That's huge. That's fucking.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like
Mr. Wink says, please stay away from Drake.
Yeah,
or Sega London.
No, that's not London. That's Burks.
No, that's not Burks.
Yeah, they literally had a comparison. They're like comp players, and it was Arthega Whiteside. I'm just like, nope, goodbye.
Nah,
I wouldn't say Burks.
Nah, Burks is way better.
London.
I'm not saying he's not better, but that was a legit comparison. And I'm just like, nope, I don't even care. Not even fucking entertaining that thought process. If you're not an Ohio State wide receiver, I'm not drafting you.
I mean, I'll gladly take. Treylon Burks is my again. And Chuck knows this. Treylon Burks is my guy. That's my go-to.
Does he play for Ohio State?
No.
Well, a lot of it is kind of my guy. Look,
he's been once again either or. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which one it is. One or the other is fine.
I think. And I see how with with Garrett,
baby. Let's go.
He has more of like everybody loves that little dynamic aspect of his game.
Oh shit, motherfucker!
I told you, Pete.
Listen, man.
I told you, Pete. Should have listened. Should have listened.
Well, your last two bets are kind of fucked me in the ass. So
you know what? You strike out for a little while, and then you get the one big one. So
Yeah.
Boom.
And now I'm going to strike out on the rest of my bets for the rest of
Exactly,
March
right?
Madness. So,
Well,
that's
did
usually
you
how it works.
go with North Carolina?
Did I? To be honest, I don't know. This tournament's been so like. This is actually one of the best tournaments I think I've watched in a long time.
Remember, Johnny. Produce better. They're gonna win.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm like this. I can't
Tournament.
bet.
Better doesn't matter. Like the better team hardly ever wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
When North Carolina always knock on the door of Sweet 16, I can't bet. I just can't. I'm sorry. I'm a terrible when it comes to betting on championships games. I'm not.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. My last like not championship, but like prediction bet, like months ahead of time, I got the Bryce Harper MVP, and that was a nice payday. So I can't.
I wish you could have told me that one.
Oh, it was when he was starting to get hot, so I'm like, why not? But getting back to Eagles real quick. Pete says the cap is so manipulative, but you have to pay. You have to pay the piper at some point. Hell, the Eagles still they still have Malik Jackson on the payroll. And they still have Alshon on the payroll too.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, next year is spending spree because we finally get all like those creeper names off the books. Ugh. Still like Malik Jackson still on the payroll. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, again, you win some and lose some when it comes to signing free agents. So it is what it is.
That's why it's a fun time.
Jesse says Mailata, Dickerson, Kelsey, Linderbaum, Johnson. Where's the weakness on that line? Yeah, no, absolutely. My only thing is, Jesse, I don't know if he can play guard. Maybe he can.
That's what I'm saying. Lindenbaum is just a center.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
if he
that's
can
what you.
I mean, maybe we can cross train him.
I mean,
not when you got Isaac Seumalo right there. You already got the guy in the building.
I think you are vastly overrating Isaac Seumalo.
No, I'm vastly looking at how he keeping the margins down, man. You can't. It's like, yeah, you'll have Lindenbaum as a first-round draft pick for a while, but you're going to have to make him the highest-paid center in the league.
Cool.
Wow. That's what.
So he hasn't. Isaac Seumalo hasn't played 16. Has played 16 games one time in his entire career.
Yep.
Okay.
And his last few. He's played 12 games in 2 years.
Okay, and we kept the bodyguard for how long and how many games that he was playing for.
That's fair.
Yeah, you know what? When you're a 9-time Pro Bowler, and like a 5-time All Pro, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like,
again, me and Todd rarely ever disagree on anything, but this I do disagree with.
Like I hated Jason Peters towards the end of his career. I wanted him out like no one's business.
Yeah. Chuck says, why would you move Isaac Seumalo to center when he struggled there in the past? And I like Isaac, but you can absolutely upgrade from him. He's solid, not great. Yeah, again, he's solid.
Yeah, I mean, you can always upgrade, but it's not like an upgrade of throwing a first-round pick. I'm like, you got one of the greatest offensive line coaches, man. Like, we can.
I hear you.
Elite, and you're giving him an elite player to play with. That is.
We literally got the coach that can do the blind side, can take a kid right off the damn street and
then
have them be all pro.
He should have no problem having an all pro caliber player and just bringing him to that next pantheon of greatness.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's already. I'm like, yo, we're doing that with Mailata. You know, he's becoming that household name. Like, he's about to become a household name. Like, seriously.
Yeah,
well, I think he's already going that way, Todd. He was just on The Masked Singer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He was just on The Masked Singer for Christ's sake.
Now he's really like, when we have like that primetime game, that's going to be talked about. And then he's going to be putting on a show, pancaking people. And I'm like this. That's the guy that never played football.
Yep.
Never. and we molded that. So
well, again, and my whole thing is, and I'm not shitting on Jordan Mailata because he's fucking amazing, but when you're that size and you're that athletic, it's tough not to be that. It's tough not to be that good, especially when you have the kind of coaching from Stoutland where you literally had basically a mold of clay. That's how he described Jordan Mailata when the Eagles drafted him. He's like, he's
what do
literally
you guys
a mold
think
of
about
clay.
the Stephon Gilmore rumor?
Well, it's not a rumor because his wife said that the Eagles did call about Stephon Gilmore, so they're definitely interested.
I mean, that's Howie being Howie. I mean,
hey. It's he interested because here's the thing: like, you get Stephon Gilmore, I don't really give a fuck who you get at safety. Like, you can bring McLeod back.
I still want a young safety in here.
I mean, I'm still drafting one, but like, if I can
that's
get
what I'm saying.
If I can get Stephon Gilmore here for 2 years or 3 years or whatever, I'm good. I'm excited.
I'm getting a text message from one Chuck's Moran, and hold on. This is for Todd, according to Chuck. So he says, Todd, using Stoutland as an excuse to not draft an elite offensive line prospect is a weak argument. Then why would they take Dickerson in round 2 last year? Just draft O-line in the later rounds.
Man, Chucks, I'm not wasting a first round pick. Okay, you just answered my whole motherfucking thing about in the second round. Okay, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, yo, in the second round, yes, but in the first round, no. I don't know. Like, that's what I'm like. Y'all not understanding. I'm not wasting a first rounder where I know I need to fill up my defense. Like, I need to restock the cupboard. Because
I am
it's not about one.
I'm restocking it with an all-pro caliber center.
Man, get the fuck out of here, man.
I'm restocking it. Jason Kelsey's retiring.
Okay, we can draft a freaking guy in the third round that needs just a year to develop and let Stoutland coach him up.
Okay, if that was true, if everyone just worked out that way, like, why isn't Andre Dillard working out that way?
He did. He is working out that way.
Why didn't Matt Pryor work out that way?
Well, Matt Pryor was also like a 6th-round pick, to be fair.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter though.
But Matt Pryor was he wasn't great, but he was at least solid for a couple of games. I mean, he wasn't going to be no all-pro.
If Stoutland,
not all of them going to be all-pros, but
everyone,
get some valuable,
why didn't he make Matt Pryor?
Dude, he makes them solid. All right. And right now, if you got at least a solid O-line in depth, I mean, right now we had the deepest O-line in the NFL.
Yes, and you know what's going to make it even better? Jason Kelsey
shut up, man! Not with a first round pick. Our freaking defense is garbage, man. I'm sorry.
You can draft Jordan Davis.
Transfer it to my account,
and you can draft both of them just right next to each other. You've held this team.
Pete, did you bet did you bet St. Peter's too? If you did, then yeah, you're at where I'm at right now. Let's fucking go. Emotional support, Peacock man. My Peacock wife will also bring support in the form. God damn it.
Oh wow. That's
speaking of massages, Jesse.
Yeah, speaking of massages.
Deshaun Watson.
He had too many of those peacocks.
What a
thank God. God bless you, Howie, for not trading.
Most of the support.
I didn't lose any bets. I just didn't make it.
Again, I told you earlier today.
Once again, your last 2 bets like fuck me. So like I was a little nervous.
Bound to hit sooner or later, and
I
hit.
You know, said it best. Gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Yeah, yep.
If it was a good feeling, if it was National Peacock Day, that's a little hint for you.
Joseph says Brinkman was pissed that he had to watch Purdue destroy the Peacocks. Yeah. No, I didn't.
I mean, you never go anything by what Brink says to say. So
I did hear that.
I'm not gonna touch that one.
Yeah, no. Bryce says leave Watts alone.
Fuck him.
If you saw that press,
I tell him right to his face after I spit in it.
if you saw that press conference today,
you can
didn't
tell
look
some
good.
things.
Didn't look good. I'm not gonna say he's guilty, but again, it didn't look good.
Hey, Deshaun Watson.
It did not look good.
Let's just say he's not going to have any commercials anytime soon.
No.
All right.
No.
There's Baker's just gonna do the commercials.
We're gonna just keep it at that.
Like, why is he still doing commercials from the Browns thing? It's like, no, he's locked Deshaun Watson out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, can anybody ask me what did the Texans get for this trade?
What did the Texans get?
3 firsts, a second, and a 4th.
Bear with me.
I did not see anything that comes up about what the Texans got. It was just all about the damn contract.
I'll tell you in a moment if I can freaking find it when I need to look for it. So, for Mr. Womack,
yes, sir.
The Cleveland Browns sent a 2022 first-round pick, 2023 first-round pick, a 2024 first-round pick, fourth-round pick this year, a third-round pick next year, and a 4th round in 2024.
Woo.
So,
hope it's worth it.
Yeah, that's
hope it's worth it.
That's the whole thing, right? That's the whole thing.
And people complain about the Wentz
to the fan out there, would y'all give up that much? Woo.
Nope.
No. At the time, I would have. But listen, after that press conference today, my God, for anyone at home,
bro, I tried telling you.
And again, you're right. You were right. And again, could he be still productive for the Browns? Absolutely. But again, it just did not look good. The press conference did not look good. I was telling Pete and Todd before we went live today. I'm like, listen, if you saw that press conference today, it was like a funeral. It was just very quiet, very awkward, and with a lot of the questions and a lot of heart. It was good questions too from the from the media. So there was one comment
that was looking like fucking OJ up there.
Hold on, there was one comment. Or there was one quote from Deshaun Watson I do have to pull up because this told me
I like to drink beer. That's what Deshaun Watson looked like when he was fucking being interviewed. Like,
hey, I'm just the man. I wasn't expecting him to say a whole lot.
Well, that's the thing. He didn't say. He didn't really say anything.
But that's the other part too. Is like you got to give something, and if he's just trying to keep it as basic answer, one answer, kind of get, or what's he giving to the people? Then it's.
So I have the full question from the reporter and Deshaun Watson's comment back. So the reporter asked Deshaun Watson earlier today in his press conference. He says, "I'm going to go back to 40 massage people. Why not just have one you really like and stick with one person? 40 just seems like so many." And Deshaun Watson responded, said, "Well, I never," and then he stopped. And then he said, as far as the team, and when I say team, I'm not saying the Cleveland Browns, but my agency and things like that. 40 is just overtime. I don't know what that means. It's not in one period. It's not in one period of time. I've been in Houston for 5 years. So, and here's the statement that kind of like threw me off a little bit. He's like, so you go to different people, and that's just how, like I said before, I can't get too far into details, but as business work and you move. Here's what it was. That threw me off. As business and work, you move and meet different people and have different schedules and blocks. You kind of meet people over time. Like that whole you kind of meet people over time. Like what does that mean?
It means
I get life goes on and whatever, and you're busy. I get that, but it was just
man.
So
he's like that Tupac song, man. He gets around. Round and round. Round and round, it got around. Some girls only can do the right leg, other girls can do the left leg.
Yeah. I get around.
So,
Yeah.
I get around.
Yeah, but
Thank God. I thank God every day that we don't have to deal with this ass
it's
clown.
just not a good look. Again, I don't know.
I mean,
Rich Eisen said it on his
I
show
know I
earlier
said
today. You're left with more questions. You're left with more questions after that press conference. Again, I didn't expect Deshaun Watson to come out and be like, "Well, this is what happened on this time and that time, and the charges were this, that, and whatever." But I feel like I have more questions now. And again, I'm not even connected to the Deshaun Watson thing, but we have to talk about it because we're a sports media company and it's something that we cover.
Well,
so
this is definitely one of those situations where we're going to find out, does winning cure all? Because
we'll see. Well, again, here's my only thing. And again, the judicial system, you can say what you want about it. It is what it is.
He was
cleared of his charges, whatever they were exactly. I don't know the exact details. I know some, but not all. If Calvin Ridley can get suspended for something as harmless as gambling,
$150 bet, Jake.
And if Deshaun, will Deshaun Watson get suspended? I would say most likely, but again, if he doesn't, just saying, it's not a good look.
Well,
not a good look.
Does how much of him sitting out a whole year? Like that's the thing. He already done sat out a whole year. It's like, how much could you justify it?
10. I say he's going to get.
Especially by him.
Yeah, I would think 8 or 10. I would think.
Because remember,
but by him not being guilty though, it's like he's not guilty. So how can you
matter?
Yeah, it's
how can you punish
you have
guilty
female
man?
NFL employees, you have female assistant coaches, and all this. If you don't give him a heavy penalty, whether it's he's convicted or not, you're sending a bad message to.
But he's already sitting out. He already sat out a year.
It doesn't matter. Kareem Hunt sat out like 9-10 games
for kicking a girl. Yeah,
for the first year, and then he had like 8-game suspension the second year.
Oh, right. He had like another thing. Right. I forgot about that. Yep.
But
yeah, I don't know.
I'm not. But I'm just playing. I gotta play devil's advocate. If a man was not guilty,
it doesn't matter.
He sat out a year. It
doesn't matter. You have to send a message.
Yeah, but again,
Mr. Wing is right there.
It might just be 4 games. You're probably right.
It might be, but you gotta suspend
the most.
Even if it's no, I think 4 is minimum.
Yeah, I think regardless, he I think regardless he gets suspended.
I think it's.
Again, I don't think it's going to be.
I think it's 4 to 10. It's in between that price.
It'll be around there.
No,
I think. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be
like the most being 4.
No, there's no way. There's no way.
That year, man, and he got found not guilty. He got found not guilty.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Kareem Hunt got 6 games for lightly.
Yeah, but there was video.
But he was still guilty and was on camera.
Yeah, if Deshaun Watson was on camera, he's not getting 200.
I still think it's at least 8. Like,
yeah, but again, you have to be careful when you're Roger Goodell in the NFL, because if you're just suspending a guy on something that he was already acquitted of, and again, it wasn't proven. Again, 20 allegations aren't a good look, but at the same time, in a grand jury. Twice.
That's what I'm saying. I have to play. You have to play devil's advocate on this one. You have to.
I don't have to, because I know they're going to suspend him. Like, I know.
Yeah, but
I know how to
suspend him for a long period.
You have a large degree of female employees, and you have to be able to deal with them on a regular basis. So you have to at least save face. Like, this is like,
dude, you can't. I'm sorry. That's that cookie cutter world. You can't please every freaking body, man. But it does matter. If the man already sat out a year, he's not guilty.
Then they wouldn't have suspended Kareem Hunt. They would have just said, "All right, cool."
Well, no, there was tape on Kareem Hunt. That's the only reason he got suspended.
Yeah, right now,
if there wasn't tape, it wouldn't be. It's like this. It's like similar to the Ray Rice situation when the rumors first came out that he hit his wife. Nothing really came of it until the
I was looking at 2 to 4.
until the tape came out, and then
Exactly,
then he was
the tape.
done.
He'll get 6 games. 6 to 8 games is what he'll get.
I don't know.
No, he will get the most is 4.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
But
because
again,
here's the thing: if the most that they thought he was going to get was 4, they would have just rode with Case Keenum. The Browns traded Case Keenum and they brought in Jacoby Brissett, which makes me believe they think it's going to be a lengthy suspension. Because if it's just Case Keenum, if it's just like 4 games, you can ride with Case Keenum for 4 games. The fact that they brought in Brissett tells me they think it's longer.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
again, we'll see.
I mean, you can call that just insurance. Well,
they already had insurance.
Yeah, we'll see. But again, we'll see once the punishment
of course,
comes down, which I would expect I would think in a couple weeks. But we'll see. But there's a lot.
We need to talk game film because, like I said, I ain't letting you off the hook because you was the main one rooting for Rager.
Well, what else are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do?
Again, me and Chucks went back and forth on that too. I wasn't a fan of the pick, and I know he was. But again, you get some right, you get some wrong. It happens.
And that's what I'm saying, man. Certain picks, you just we're just in a time where we gotta. Seeing how free agency definitely played out, we know we got to hit on picks. It's just
you have absolutely, have.
For out of 10 picks, I want 6 starters trying to break the mold of becoming household names. Like that's my goal.
Right.
I want to buy some of these. Like Davante Smith he's still going to have to show me in order for me to buy his jersey. Like I want these young guys to make me want to buy their jersey. I don't want to, I know there's going to be a lot of fans running out, like the Denver Bronco fans getting a Russell Wilson. It doesn't look right.
Right.
I'm sorry. Just like when we saw Brian Dawkins in the Denver's.
In that Broncos jersey, yeah.
It didn't look right. It just.
No.
It didn't look right at all. So that's why I'm like, I want that feeling again. I want to have guys that we drafted and we developed.
And
I'm sorry.
I'm with you, Bryce. I'm with you. If we blow this draft, I'm with you.
Exactly. I'm sorry.
I do a 3-year extension. Gone. Gone.
Oh yeah. He.
You have 3 first-round picks. You have no excuse.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have no excuse whatsoever. Again, but it wouldn't shock me. Again, and Chuck's Ryan, Tom talked about it last night on Birds of a Feather. Do you think the Eagles could possibly trade up for one of the top quarterbacks in this draft, like say a Malik Willis or a Kenny Pickett or
No.
Guarantee up. If you're trading up,
not saying like trading up to like the top 3, but say theoretically if they fall to say 10 or 11, and you don't really have to give up much. Say like you have to give up a first and a third, and
Howie had
a fifth.
Here's my thing: if Howie believed in any of them, he would have taken them out personally.
And that's the whole.
Well, they took Pickett out.
No. Brian Johnson took him out, and the Eagles. Yeah, sure. Well, we got it. We got the bill. Don't even worry about it.
But
Yeah. But no,
Howie's not there. Jeffrey Lurie wasn't there. That's how I know. Right? That's how I know they're not serious. Because there was no Jeffrey meeting, there was no Howie meeting.
Oh no, Jeffrey definitely when it comes to a franchise quarterback or drafting a quarterback in the first round, he's going to that meeting.
Yeah, if he's not, that's how I know they're not serious. Because if they were serious, Jeffrey Lurie would have been to that dinner, and he wasn't.
But no,
we'll see. Again, I just thought it was an interesting point because Chuck's, Tom, and Rye talked about it.
You have a better chance of them going linebacker at 15 and 16 than they do of drafting a quarterback.
I don't know with this team. That's the thing. And with Howie Roseman, you never know. I don't know.
Yeah, and it is scary because we saw him with the binoculars at that UNC and Pitt game.
Yep.
Like he's definitely at least we do know that
When they
it's
were
not
scrolling,
Sam
like,
Howell. It's Kenny Pickett. At
like,
least we know
did
it's
you
that.
watch it where they were scrolling through the GMs and Howie Roseman was the only one with binoculars? I'm like, oh
Exactly.
shit.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh
like I
shit,
don't
here
know.
we go.
Like I think he knew that he knew that was going to be a meme for all freaking Philly fans because we always catch him with those damn binoculars.
And again, it could be nothing more than a smokescreen, which again, knowing Howie Roseman, it wouldn't shock me, but you never know. You never know. Joseph says, I could see the Eagles trading to go ahead of Baltimore so we can get Ahmad Gardner.
Yes.
He's still there at 12 or 3. Yeah, listen, Joe, that's my guy. I prefaced it a lot, and
Yes,
I've mentioned me and Chuck have talked. I've told him multiple times. I think he's the best cornerback in this
It's
draft.
okay. We'll
Yeah.
get.
I
We'll
would definitely
19.
trade up. That's
We'll
what I'm saying.
15.
Like, yeah, if you know Sauce was at least at between 10 and 12, you gotta trade up. Like
Yeah,
that's a no
Trade with the
brainer.
Falcons or the Jets.
Yeah, and me and Chuck were
Jets.
talking.
I hear you have an O-line problem. I have a very sexy, very attractive
young
Andre
offensive
Dillard.
tackle. Yeah, young left tackle. But again, me and Chucks were talking today, and just sticking with Sauce Gardner. I was telling him, I'm like, because me and Chucks really like to watch tape and get real in depth with certain guys. Chucks has to more than
Man, you
I
can
do per
message
se
your
because he
brother,
has to
man.
write the whole.
I'll join the watch party.
he has to do like a whole spreadsheet and a whole list. So, but with certain guys, and I was telling Chucks this earlier, there's certain guys, at least with me, how I process players in film. There's certain guys I just feel you don't need to watch on film per se because you already know that they're going to be an impact player and what they can bring on the field. But again, like I said, Chucks has to because of his responsibility to break down film and go real in depth with players.
I'm going to challenge Chucks to film watching one day, but most definitely, I know what you mean by certain players.
Certain guys that are just that good.
You don't have to go in depth. You
know what you're getting.
You see 10 plays and you're like, it's okay, sold. Like I don't. There's nothing else, and that's why for me, Sauce and Jermaine Johnson are the two guys where I like 10 plays and I'm like, okay, I'm sold.
Yep.
I think Johnson's gonna go way earlier than people think.
He's gonna be between the 10 and 20. Like he's gonna go right in that little section. He's not going up to no top 5, even though Aiden Hutchinson.
I think he'll go top 10.
No, because people are still hyped about Aiden Hutchinson, even though I think he's overrated. I don't
think he's going to be that good. I really don't.
I don't see it.
He'll still be productive, but like as far as like a top 3 number 1 overall,
I don't see no JJ Watt. I don't even see TJ Watt. Again, I don't see that impact.
Here's what I did because I looked at his tape against like some of the better offensive lines that they went up against at Michigan. He struggled. He struggled a little bit against some of the top tier offensive lines. So again,
that Iowa game,
exactly. He couldn't do anything.
And that's why I'm like this. Okay, you want to talk about Lindenbaum, the perennial center, but Iowa have been producing offensive linemen for a good minute.
Left and right. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why I'm like, when I saw that and he did not dominate, when you go against Georgia, who had a stout offensive line, you did not dominate, you cannot be in the top 5 for me. I'm sorry. As a defensive end, and you want to be a first rounder for me, I got to see where you went up against the best offensive lineman in the county or in the country. And how did you play? Did you get a sack? Did you make an impact? Was you constantly, if you didn't get the sack, was you always around the quarterback? And he disappeared like badly. That's when, what's my man? I got Olave or not Olave, Ojabe. There you go. Ojabo, yeah, tomatoes. But for him, how he started flying up, but I was like, he's raw.
He's so
and
raw.
he's mostly like like that is truly speed rush. Like
And
that's
he's only played football for 3 or 4 years. That's the crazy thing.
exactly. So he does have that potential of developing, but then when he went against top offensive linemen, it was like they both sometimes disappeared. It was just I was like I can't see them like. To me, both of those they will go later in the first round for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but you talking about top 5, top 10? No. So right now, that Aiden Hutchinson, I think he's still going to go high, but I wouldn't take it. But I would definitely trade up for Sauce, most definitely.
Yeah, I want Sauce, but I'm also completely fine with Derek Stingley. I really like him.
Yeah.
If Derek Stingley fell to number 15, I wouldn't have a problem picking him.
Like you're getting a solid player. Like,
I mean, did he have the best year last year?
He has the opportunity to be a decent starter. To like,
no, he'll be player. But again, my concern is, and me being an LSU fan, I've watched him closely since his freshman year.
Yeah, so Jake, you know what it is? You're the
his
expert.
Freshman year was his best year.
Mm-hmm.
And my only concern, like, he hasn't gone down per se every year, but he still has not. He wasn't able to get back to that freshman form that he was on, where he was dominant. But again, he also, if you look at that team, they were loaded everywhere. So,
well, I'll take that back.
It's tough.
I will take that back. If he fell to number 19, I will take him.
If he fell there,
he's not worth number 15.
I'd have no issue because that's why it wouldn't matter to me because I have the next pick. Like,
well, no, reason being because I actually started. Jake, I think you were in on it too. I like Booth more than Stingley.
I do too.
Yeah.
And I love Elam over Stingley.
Elam I haven't looked at. I haven't looked at yet. I can't say. I don't have an opinion.
It's like this. Elam has the same kind of, like, he's a little bit more built, but he's got the same length as Sauce, but just a little bit more like he's like Asante Samuel. He'll bite on that first move sometimes.
Yeah.
But not all the time. Like, what's my man? Damn, went to New England. Mills.
Oh,
always bit for that. The first move,
the double move every time.
Yeah, the double move. But, always bit on the first.
But again, going back to Stingley, he has all the talent in the world. He's a great corner, but my only concern is, again, he hasn't been as dominant as he was his freshman year when that team was just loaded. If you saw what Davante Smith did to him in that Alabama game a couple years ago.
I mean, it's Davante Smith. That's
but still, at the time you were slated as one of the best corners in the country. So, and he couldn't even keep up with Davante. So again, that's a concern. And also, he's coming off a major foot injury, so I need to know his status.
And that's why I'm saying that's why I had to take it back. I was like, 15 is too high. No. I was like, that's too.
If you want to take a shot at him, absolutely, because the potential's there for him to be a shutdown corner.
But
I don't know.
I'll take him at number 19. It's because once you hit to. And for people like this, that's why I'm saying how I look at my draft board is completely like from 20 on down to 32. Those are second round. Those are just that first to second round picks. Like, the cream of the crop is from 1 to 15. Like, those are prime real estate, players.
And that's mine and Chuck's favorite day for the draft too, because you get so much value in that second, third round.
Yeah,
where you can get a legit starter, Pro Bowler, or whatever, and there's going to be a lot of running backs available in that second round. So,
oh man, from that one, and that's why I'm starting to get torn about Nakobe Dean and Lloyd because I'm just really loving Christian Harris.
I love Christian Harris. I love him,
and I will trade back. As long as it's in a high second round pick,
I would think he'll go in the upper part of the second round for sure.
He's a second round pick. I wouldn't mind taking Christian Harris in round 2.
I love Christian Harris.
And that's why I'm like,
Bama guy.
with UP, that's why I'm like, is I would love to draft like Nakobe Dean, but some people are not. They don't love his size. Me personally, I think that's a great weapon because just like how you can hide a running back in the backfield,
fast though. He's so fast. He can cover so much of the field.
But that's why I'm like, you can hide him behind a good defensive lineman. I mean, even though like the quarterback could see him, but the way he just darts and shut down run plays, oh my!
By the time you see him, it's too late.
Exactly. But
could we get a possible Joker situation with Nakobe? Maybe he falls in the second.
No way. Nakobe
falls
in the
I don't
know. No. He's too good.
He's talented.
I mean, Joker was really good.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
again,
if you go by my board like that, I say the furthest that he could fall is number 20, and that's because of this whole combine and
because everyone's worried about his size again, which I don't know. Again, I say it all the time. If you can play, you can play.
And the way he was moving sideline to sideline, like you can't.
And people killed Kyle Hamilton for out of Notre Dame. People killed Kyle Hamilton for his poor 40 time at the combine. He ran like a 4.5.
Yeah, you know what? He's garbage. You know, you could only take him at like 15, 16, or 19.
It'd be such a shame if he fell
fucking bum.
Hey, he fell to 15. I'm taking run it up the board too. That's another name like you just like go.
If he falls, then absolutely. Again, that's the cool thing about the position that we're in, right? Because we can go anywhere we want to with 3 first-round picks. We can go to number 1 if we want to. We can trade back, which I think is the more realistic option. But
I'd rather trade back because there's
I would too. I absolutely
like that's what I'm saying. I want to hit at least 2 prime players that especially for defense, because I will put it out there. I grew up watching Eagles football during the Jimmy Johnson era, at least, and there was one thing that you knew when you comes to watching Eagles football during that time. You knew the defense was going to show.
Yeah, regardless.
There was
no matter who
there was no question. No question. We didn't give a fuck what kind of quarterback you had. If you was the number 1 ranked offense, we're going to smack you in the mouth.
Yeah.
Period.
Yep.
You know what we're doing. Jimmy Johnson, you know we're blitzing. We just don't know where it's coming from.
Exactly.
And that's where I want to get back to.
And again,
with this, go ahead, Jay.
Jimmy Johnson's the reason that Brian Dawkins is a Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
In any other defense, again, he'd still be productive, but he wouldn't have been as dominant as he was in Jimmy Johnson's system. But again,
that was the first time we actually seen a safety really being played more in the box, being played on more blitzes, shadowing down coverage. That's where, from that's how you got your Ed Reeds, your Troy Polamalu, because defenses are starting to realize, oh, wow, with my safety, I can kind of move him around a little bit. He's my queen on a chessboard. I can move him just about everywhere, but I gotta make sure he's in the right positions. And that's one thing about, with Jimmy Johnson, he always told B-Doc when the blitz, he even gave him the freedom to call his own shot on blitzing. So
Mr. Wing says, stay away from Ajabo. He's cooked with the Achilles. Players rarely return to elite levels, especially because it hurts the explosion. And the Achilles is a huge part of it. But again, my only rebuttal to that is that he's young, so he has more of a chance to bounce back from it. So my only issue is like people compare it to the Sidney Jones situation. It's 2 completely different positions.
Yeah.
If Ojabo was a corner, I'd be like, yeah, okay, stay away from him. But the fact that he's a defensive lineman, it helps.
That's what I'm saying. If we gain multiple 2nd-round picks, I wouldn't mind. Like that's the highest I'll use it on him. But I can see him going in the 2nd or 3rd round. Like it's.
Brian Wilson from Agree to Disagree. He says he disagrees with the poll. 3 first-round picks can be attributed to some of the disappointment. Let's wait and see when we get to the draft before we call it a massive failure. No, and absolutely, that's fair. That's fair.
Man, it goes hand in hand.
Don says nobody say nothing when Chase Young didn't show up against Michigan. Yeah, that's another one who had a guy who had a down year this past year. Again, he also got hurt too, so
he's also just overrated.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to see how he comes back from the knee injury.
It's just another one of those years where it's just like no one wants to risk it on a quarterback, so they're like, "Oh man, we'll get these great defensive players."
Well, with Chase Young, did he have the impact of Bosa? No. Or as far as really terrorizing the league, but he did make a name for himself. And
no, absolutely.
Last year just didn't go their way. They had injuries. He got bit by the injury bug, but
that's
Chase Young is legit. Like that.
No, he absolutely is. But the crazy thing is too with Washington last year, they had all the pieces to have an elite defense, and that's what we thought they were going to have, and they were terrible.
Exactly.
They were terrible.
I have 3 first-round picks. Howie's not awful. Like,
yeah, but again, it's what he does with those first-round picks. So I'm not going to
obviously, but like, here's the thing. I made a trade that essentially nets me Zach McPherson, Devonta Smith, and whoever the fuck I get at 15.
Yeah, I don't know what Zach McPherson is yet.
I don't know what he is either, but I'm like, that's at worst case scenario, he's a special teamer / serviceable young corner.
Yeah.
This
also says there's also a wide receiver to target in the later rounds from North Dakota State who scored a 99.
Yeah, he's not going any later.
No, he's not. He'll probably go. I would think at least in the second round. I would think
he's going to go in round 2, or someone's going to get stupid and draft him in like late round 1.
That wouldn't shock me either.
I'd say the highest he'll go is second round, but I really see him as a third rounder.
I don't know if he'll make it to the third round.
He's
so talented. That's the thing. He's so talented.
And it's like this whole, like, people realize or not speaking on it so much. It's just this wide receiver class is so deep.
It is deep. It's a deep class.
It's deep,
but no one's talking about it.
And it's just like and then it's like a mixture of wide receivers. There's your speed wide receivers. There's your kind of big and lengthy wide receivers. You got your mixture. So you
have a lot of running backs this year too.
Yeah. So
this is actually a decent draft as far, like, obviously aside from, you can say what you want, but aside from quarterbacks, yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, it's actually a pretty decently deep draft. So
we'll see where they go. Like I said, I like the kid from Tolbert. I forgot the school, but I really like him. Like he's got some length and some speed. That's why it's so hard to. That's why I'm looking at the depth. I'm trying to see where can I get away with if I want to draft like a position in the later rounds. That's how I start eliminating, like, to cover best players to also team needs, because you gotta do a little bit of both. It just can't say best player all the damn time.
Here we go. Jimmy has to get his Wentz agenda.
Not Foles, get the fuck out of here. You don't make it to the Super Bowl without Carson Wentz. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but to Mr. Wing's point, Foles did close it out.
He did, but Nick Foles wasn't winning us 12 games last year. That year. No, stop.
Maybe.
Are you serious? He was so inconsistent during the regular season. Like, he played one amazing, like,
against the Giants.
Like, and that was it. Like, he was unplayable against the Falcons. He was unfucking playable against the Cowboys. And if not for
the Cowboys game didn't mean anything.
And if not for like a bounce out of fucking Torrey Smith's hand,
Oh, that
like maybe we don't win that game.
Who was that? Keanu Neal's knee?
Yes.
Who was that? Yeah, it was somebody's. I forget who it was, but yeah, I remember I was at that game. I'm like, I looked over to one of the people, because I was still ushering there at the time. I was looking over at one of my season ticket holders. I'm like, that doesn't happen with us. Like, that never happens. We never get that lucky. Like we're always
Hey,
the
like
other
I
team
said,
that
I was there for what was it, the second Foles start at that Giants game, and boy, you talking about being on pins and needles because Foles was up and down, but then he finally found that rhythm, and that's what Foles can do. He can give you a good. It's an
He
up
can
and
give you
down game,
he can
but
give
he'll
you
give you a
four to
good stretch. He'll give you a
he
good
gives you
stretch of
great
games.
4 to 5 games. And after anything after that, you are putting like it was the same thing in 2018. Those first 3 to 4 games, he started to look fine. And then he started to get into the playoffs, and then that
he just shot right. Yeah.
Hey,
And
that
Jesse says it best. He's like, that's why I hate the argument of you don't need a top tier QB to win the Super Bowl, and then to mention Nick Foles when Nick had one of the best QBRs in NFL history during that playoff run. Yeah, no, absolutely.
I mean, I want a quarterback. They won a Super Bowl with Joe Flacco. Like, come on.
Joe Flacco's elite. He was elite.
He was elite. He had, and people shit on Flacco.
Remember that whole argument for years?
Yes.
Like, is Joe
People
Flacco
don't talk
elite?
about it. Joe Flacco had the best season in QB history.
I mean, I remember it was always talk between Joe Flacco and Matty Ice, like who was better, and it was people were torn.
Jake, I actually got in an argument with someone about this because people used to think I was crazy. Like in the early days of Lamar Jackson, I said I'll take Lamar. I'll take Joe Flacco's whole career over Lamar Jackson's, because if you go look at Flacco's first 5 versus Lamar's first 5. Flacco is consistently winning, like Lamar, but he's also consistently delivering in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The only difference is Lamar has the individual accomplishment.
Again, my thing is with Lamar, and Lamar's great, but if he can learn to throw consistently, it's game over. If he can learn to consistently throw from the pocket, in addition to what he already does with his legs, it's over. It's over.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, and that's the true learning curve of the quarterback position is, can you make the correct reads consistently?
Right
like
time,
every can you keep a drive going? And that's where you see the great quarterbacks succeed and most of them fail, or you see that the inconsistency. Like, okay, you did well on the last drive, you got us a touchdown, but this drive, I don't know what the fuck you was looking at.
It's like what do you call it? It's like Stafford before they made that playoff run. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Towards the end of the last season, he was horrible.
And but then it happens, man. It's so hard to find like the absolute franchise quarterback. Either you're gonna let the guy develop and see what you got, or they're gonna have to come out and have a sensational rookie year. But then you're wondering why they had like such a shitty sophomore year. Because I'm like, when you finally get game tape, you see your tendencies.
Yeah,
just look at Josh Allen. Like, and they were talking about this on the radio. Like, look at Josh Allen for his first 2 years in the league. And Matt, I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is Josh Allen because he's just not. But like, imagine after 2 years of watching Josh Allen, you're just like, nah, fuck him.
Well,
he's not there yet. He's not there yet. So let's just go get someone else.
Yeah, but the only difference is Jalen Hurts wasn't as highly recruited as Josh Allen. Josh Allen was so raw coming out of
Wyoming.
Wyoming, thank you. Yeah, he was so raw coming out of Wyoming, but everyone saw what he could be, and
like when they were posting, when people would post highlights of just of Josh Allen's rookie year, it was literally just his runs. Like, that's how inconsistent his arm was early on.
But that's what I'm saying. We live in such a microwave time. People forget that we wouldn't, like, Josh Allen took a minute to develop.
Yeah.
But we're talking about him in the top 10 of quarterbacks around the league now.
Yep.
That's why you gotta give Hurts one more year. Because I'm not saying he's gonna be Josh Allen, but I'm like, he can develop. Like, to say he couldn't develop is insane.
Yeah. And getting to Jimmy from the Flight Zone, you can check those guys out on Monday. He says, I want to see Lamar with another legit wide receiver. Mr. Wing says, yeah, he needs a legit number one.
Every
quarterback does. Yeah, absolutely. Everybody. I mean, again, Hollywood Brown, he's good. He's not a number one.
Yeah.
He's very good though.
But what's damn it, he came from Minnesota. That I know he was hurt, but he started to kind of come on. Was it? I don't want to say Breedman, but I know it starts with a B. I forgot his name.
Rashard Perryman.
No, not him. No, not Perryman, because that was German. But they drafted him last year. I had liked this game tape, but he didn't really get a chance to play with Lamar because in the beginning of the season he was hurt, and then when he came back, then Lamar got hurt. So he still they could. I would say he would be a nice prime target for Lamar, but I mean he does need that true number one, like go-to wide receiver besides the tight end. I think if he had somebody else, I think you will see him try to become more consistent thrower.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, I don't know, with Lamar. He's such a dynamic with his legs. It's so hard to coach that out of him.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too. I don't want him to be coached out of it per se, but because the thing is too, Lamar has a cannon. Lamar can throw.
Exactly.
But it's just getting that out of him, just getting the discipline to stay in the pocket and knowing when to use your legs and that whole thing. So
and then with that cannon, it's like this. Can we get some accuracy with that cannon? Because that's why I always say is, even with all these little game tapes or that Malik where he flipped the field, like I'm like, haven't we seen this from Zach Wilson? Like just about every quarterback now is doing this, throwing like a big deep touchdown pass while flipping the field. Yeah. So I wasn't impressed with that one. Tell you the truth, I was more impressed with Johnny Manziel's pro day because at least he put on that helmet and shoulder pads.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, when it comes to like these highlights from the pro days, I'm like, okay, come on, man. Mm-hmm. Especially from the quarterback position. I'm like, since Johnny Manziel put on a helmet and shoulder pads, I'm like, until y'all start wearing y'all full gear, throwing balls, moving around, then I can truly judge your pro day.
Yeah, again, quarterback pro days, like I'm not going to say they're meaningless, but it's really tough to judge because there's no coverage, there's no pressure. You can just sit there and wait, throw it, and again, if you're a quarterback and you're at your pro day, there should be no incomplete passes.
Thank you.
There should not be one. There should
the route, the wide receivers, it's like
and you're working with your guys. That's the whole other thing. You're working with your guys that you've worked with all season. So
absolutely, that's why I'm like, at least when Johnny Manziel put on the helmet and shoulder pads for me, it lets me know okay. This is how he's gonna have to look while throwing. Like you can actually see how his whole head is. Like, are you gonna be giving your, tipping your hand of seeing this wide receiver, even though it's a one-on-one drill. Mm-hmm. What I look for, if you can keep your head down the center.
Oh yeah,
because you know the route, you know the timing. Can you keep your head down the center and before you release? Look then release.
Right.
So that's why certain things I look for.
Again, and me and Chuck's really subscribe to the fact that tape tells you everything, plain and simple. Yeah, like you can go to pro days, you can go to combines and stuff like that. Like there's certain things with certain positions I'll look at the combine. Like for example, like defensive linemen, look at the broad jump, look at the vert jump or whatever, where they just jump straight up and smack I forget exactly what that's called, but because that just measures explosion. Yeah, so when you're talking about defensive linemen, that's what I look at. I look at the broad jump and I look at the what do you call it? Just the straight up vertical jump. But 40s for me, like when it comes to offensive linemen and defensive line,
No, well, when it comes to the 40 for like the offensive and defensive lineman is for, how can you chase down? Can you chase down the running back or can that offensive lineman get out to the outside fast enough? Mm-hmm. Like that's the only way you judge the 40. For me, I'm big on footwork. Like I
Absolutely.
got
Yeah, you have to be.
like bag drills. I'm a sucker for it because I'm like I want to see how light on your feet are you on. Like how quickly can you change directions? You know, that's I'm a I sound like damn Rex Ryan over here having a foot fetish. You know,
Gonna start eating dog treats and shit.
I ain't going that far now. I ain't gonna have.
Remember that when he was what was it when he was with the Jets? He ate or actually no, it was with the Bills. I think he's eating dog treats at the press conference.
Oh my lord, you can tell when you're a dog lover, you done looked at your damn dog biscuit and kind of like, you know what, let me try this.
Yeah, no, Ashanti, yeah, that's another good point. When also look at defensive lineman and O lineman, you look at arm length. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
that's another big one.
If they got short arms, how many reps they do on the bench press? Because at least if they got short arms but they're powerful, then I'm like okay, because that's what Aaron Donald has. He has short arms.
Aaron Donald's also an exception. Aaron Donald's just a
freak. And that's why I was like, "This how strong is he?" And you go look at Aaron Donald's bench, and you gonna be like, "This, whew, yeah. That
man." well, again, like when people look at Aaron Donald, they're like, "He's a D tackle." Like when he was coming out, people are like, "There's no way he'll be able to play defensive tackle."
You did not see a D tackle.
Yeah, I've heard it a million times. He's too small.
Absolutely.
And again, it's you never know.
It's okay. We got Aaron Donald Jr.
What up, Tom?
And I need another big one tonight. Yeah, absolutely. They're about to start in a couple of minutes. So,
I know. Oh Lord, I won't be nervous.
Yeah, I mean, again, the Clippers they don't have Paul George, they don't have Kawhi Leonard, so I mean, they should be able to get business done
to watch them lose to the Clippers live.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I have.
Listen, St. Peter's won. I won a shitload of money tonight, so I'm good. I'm happy. I'm
so
content.
mad. I'm so mad. I was thinking about it tonight.
Should I do it?
Peacock Day, man. It's Peacock Day.
Exactly. That's what I said. And everyone's like, no, don't be that. Okay. Sometimes being superstitious with bets works.
Dude, that's superstitions.
It works. It works.
I could have won a shit ton of money on that damn Super Bowl that we won.
Well, that again. And I don't know if Tom and the guys will remember this, but when I first came here, it was before. It was a couple months before I joined A2D, but during like their live shows, I would always say because if you remember, Brady won the MVP that year, and I kept telling everyone, an MVP hasn't won a Super Bowl since I think it was 1990. I forget the exact, but I know it was since the 90s, and that's what I kept preaching. I'm like, listen, an MVP has not won a Super Bowl since 19 whatever.
Yeah,
and it still holds true. So,
that's good research on that one.
Again, when I like that's the thing. I find like little things and I stick with those. I'm like, yeah, well,
see, that's a real bet man right there. You got to find those little things. That's why if like the Tar Heels are my team, so I was able to bet all the way up till the Sweet 16 because I'm like, okay, once you hit Sweet 16, this is where it gets too damn close. And if I win money, that means the Heels are going to lose. But when I didn't bet, the Heels have won.
My only issue is I have to learn not to bet on my teams. That's been my big issue. I have to learn not to do that.
Well, when it came to March Madness, even if I bet around, like not even bet on the game, it was still because I won money from the last game.
The past two March Madnesses I've done very well, so I can't complain. But I think it was the March Madness 2 years ago. That was my best year.
Like I said, I keep my hot streak going all the way up to the Sweet 16, and I gotta look at how I'm looking.
With a little tidbit here. He says also the white jersey won the Super Bowl every year for like 20 years, other than the Green Bay Packers Steelers game, but the Eagles broke that curse. Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
It was always how
Again,
the
you can look at your
Grass showed
numbers,
up on
you
the
can
white
look at
jerseys.
yeah, you can look at your numbers, you can look at measurables and stuff like that. But again, sometimes it's just something as simple as like a little stat right here being like, yeah, well, they haven't done this since this time. And
Yeah, exactly. That's a good odd in your favor.
yeah, exactly. So you guys got anything else before we wrap up here?
Nope.
So I want to get out of here before we get into before the Sixers game starts, so everyone can sit back and relax.
Besides Go Sixers, what else is Phillies? The Phillies did all right in free agency.
Phillies look good. Phillies are looking good.
You know,
So.
hey,
Stupid
man that just hit, just hit dingers.
Opening day in 2 weeks. So.
Just hit dingers.
Go.
Just hit some dingers.
Yeah. Can't wait. And again, this is the first time I've been legitimately excited for baseball in a long time. So I'm excited about this team, I should say. Excited about this team, I should say. So I love baseball, and a lot of people here at A2D, they're baseball junkies. So
hey, that it's October when NBA baseball playoffs are in. It's just a different atmosphere. I'll admit that one. Because every inning matters.
real quick, B215 says, "Who do you think won the Tyreek Hill trade?"
It's Kansas City.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, Pete doesn't make a bad point either. But again, I'll say Kansas City because they got the draft picks. Because
Tyreek Hill's body is going to start to break down.
I wouldn't say that because he's 28, but he doesn't have a quarterback that can throw him the ball like that. You know what I'm saying? Like Mahomes.
Well, they're gonna be doing a lot of reverses and a lot of try to beat you.
Tua can't throw the deep ball like that. Tua can't throw the deep ball.
I mean, they're gonna still try to beat you vertically, but it's gonna be a lot of sweeps. I can see that happening.
Yeah.
But if they get rid of Davante Parker, their wide receivers have speed.
Throw them like a 5th or a 6th for Davante Parker, and I'll be fine.
Yep. I'll be fine. I'm still taking one of the guys.
My only concern with Davante Parker is he's been injured a lot the past 2 years. So, but other than that, he's a solid guy. It's not going to be anything that I'm going to get overly excited about, but it'd be a solid guy to have.
I mean, if you're going into the season, you're like, oh, look what we've done. You've already improved. Then yes.
Yeah. And again, Pete, you were talking about earlier about like a young veteran that can teach these guys, and I think that would help. I don't know exactly how Davante Parker is on his leadership, but he can.
That one I don't know, but I most definitely wouldn't. I know Miami's trying to get a 3rd from him, but I can only. I can't. The highest I go is a 4th.
Listen, Amari Cooper got traded for a 6th, so.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
again, you want to talk about setting the market? Amari Cooper went for a 6th, so
yeah.
I'll ask for that for Davante Parker. I'll gladly ask for that.
Okay, all right. So just a quick toss up. Would you still try to dip into the wide receiver or safety pool in free agency, or just go ahead and go with draft for both of those positions?
I would go safety. Safety. Give me Tyron for 2 or 3 years and I'll be fine.
Give me Tyron. I'm cool with bringing Rodney back. Like, there's just a lot of options at safety right now.
Yeah, and again, I can bring in a young guy too while I'm at it. So in the draft.
Okay, that was just like as far as free agency goes, is everybody like, even to the fam, does everybody feel as though we're done? Like until like that summertime hits where we try to do like the 1 year deals.
Yeah, they'll do like the little.
I don't think we're done.
I don't think we're done. Well, okay, so
Stephon Gilmore's wife just proves we're not done.
Yeah, exactly. So they're still looking for another piece. So
okay,
and again,
you'll probably add because there's no way they're going into the draft where you don't have a CB2 and you don't have a
again, because Howie Roseman's going to try and get all the pieces he can together, so there's not a bunch of holes in the draft, and they've been pretty clear on that. They don't want to have a bunch of needs going into the draft. So even if it's a Band-Aid guy for a year, they don't want to have a bunch of
needs. I mean, that's why I'm like, you want to – this is the time where you're trying to get some star players, but also, you want to have some depth players.
Yeah.
Because when you draft, you still want to have your draft picks to be able to learn and not feel as though it has that immediate pressure to perform.
Yeah, yep.
Unless you getting players in the first round that knows that can handle that pressure, that knows that they're going to be ready for an impact.
Right. And Habib, I mean, Anthony Harris, he's a good 1-year signing. It's another veteran. It's like a good player, nothing special. Ashanti also asked, do you guys like Jabril? I like Jabril Peppers.
I like him, but I would rather see him play as a linebacker.
But again, that fits into what the Eagles like, right? Getting back to like a Malcolm Jenkins per se, to where you have a guy that can play in the box, play safety, play a little bit of linebacker when you need to be. So as far as like versatility goes, the Eagles value that tremendously, and we've seen that in the past. So Jabril Peppers to me makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
and the fact that he's still out there, I'm kind of surprised for how young he still is.
Yeah,
I think he's only 26, right? No,
but he got put in, like, he's just really more of a box safety though.
Yeah, real.
I think that's what, like, and I don't know what kind of money
Peppers
he was looking for.
26.
What?
Peppers is only 26. So
shit.
And I would not be against.
If he's willing to play linebacker a couple of times, I wouldn't mind getting him.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with him at all. I mean, drafted in 2017. Best year was in 2020 with the Giants. So again, still very young, a lot of talent. I wouldn't be against that at all. A young guy, so
he's definitely looking for big money, man.
Yeah, I'd gladly. But again, we're getting to that second phase of free agency, right? Or we're already there, I should say. So you're going to see a lot of guys for cheap deals, and like Pete alluded to earlier, like we talked about at the beginning of the show, Stephon Gilmore's wife even said the Eagles did call to ask about Stephon Gilmore. So for a number two, for the caliber of Stephon Gilmore, I know he's like in his 30s. I think he's like 31, about to be 32 when the season starts. But again, he's still a solid corner. So,
man, if we get
for
Gilmore,
number 2, shit.
If we get Gilmore down, I'm definitely like trying to root for trying to at least pick up a Stingley or a Sauce.
Yeah, you need to get a young corner still. Yep.
I would love to try to, redo what we did back in the day of having Bobby and Bobby Taylor and Vincent, and then made that transition to Sheldon Brown.
Yep.
Like we had some nasty corners back in the day, man. We really did.
Yep.
And there was a tandem.
Yeah. Well, again, we've actually been pretty good the past 2 years. Knock on wood, we've been pretty good the past 2 years, because before that it felt like 10, 15 years to where we just had a hole at corner. We could never find a good corner.
And it was like a turnstile. It was like we got so excited to finally get interceptions. I remember we was like Nolan Carroll was going to finally be our guy, where it was supposed to be.
And then he hurt his ankle, and he was never the same.
Yeah,
I like Nolan Carroll.
We all did.
Says, I think we should just draft all 3 first rounders. That's probably why we're saving our cap room. See, the thing is, Habib, like, just knowing Howie Roseman and how he is, he's already looking to next year and that whole thing. Obviously, he's has to look what's coming up in April, but he's always 10, 15 moves ahead of everyone. Yep. So I can guarantee there's no way that Howie Roseman, by the time the draft starts, we're going to have all 3 first-round picks. There's no shot. No
that's why I'm like, if we draft 3 first rounders, the question is it's not going to be in the order that we have now. It's about, okay, who was willing to trade up so we can trade back? Because I guarantee you he's going to try to walk out with a 2023 first rounder. Yeah. And the real question is how many picks in the second and third round will he try to accumulate?
Well, that's the thing too, because it's not. I don't think it's just going to be like a first round pick for first round pick. It might be like a package, like in a package in return, say like a first next year and maybe like a second or a third this year. So it's going to be something with Howie, because Howie's always wheeling and dealing. And the closer we get to the draft, which is what, April, I think it's what, 28th to the 30th, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I was like, I know, like, yeah, it covers that. I didn't see how it falls.
Usually 2-3 weeks before, that's where you see a lot of wheeling and dealing going on. So it's just a matter of what Howie has up his sleeve, and Howie always has something working. And it's not like Howie hasn't tried to make the team better, because we've seen that the Eagles have been in on all these deals for Marcus Williams, Christian Kirk.
Oh yeah, like he's literally
trying to improve the team. It's just,
yeah, he's trying to, but he realized you can't keep just throwing the house at certain players and then later down the road, because he's known for Mr. Kick the Bucket down the road, right? But he's still eventually gonna have to pay these players. So he's learning to try to have that balance now.
Yeah.
And realizing, like, okay, sometimes you do just got to walk away from a player, even though you want them badly. You just can't overshoot. Like, could you imagine paying Marcus Williams $80 million?
No.
Heat lost again.
Did they really?
Yeah. So we're half a game out of the first if we win tonight.
Wow. Let's go.
Jimmy Butler. Come on.
Oh man.
They starting to tear apart.
It's like fucking clockwork.
Yeah. Shante says, and we'll leave off on this. Do you guys think the Eagles gained ground on the Cowboys?
I feel like it's less than we gained and more they just got.
They shot them. Yeah, they shot themselves in the foot. So.
Well, because they, like I said, the Cowboys had to win the Super Bowl last year. They was there. They went all in, and now they realize they can't keep this. They can't keep the same roster. And
that Ezekiel Elliott contract's killing them. It's absolutely killing them.
Yeah,
and again, you re-sign Michael Gallup, who's a very good wide receiver, but he's not going to be available probably till like October, November, maybe.
Yeah,
I'll say the earliest is October, and that's the middle of October.
Right.
So
they have some work to do. They have some holes. Randy Gregory left. That whole situation.
Gave him the birds at
that whole situation was hilarious. So, but again, people can say what they want about Randy Gregory, but he's a very good defensive lineman.
We gained some ground, but if we knock the draft out the park, then we can overtake them. But we gained a little bit of ground. I mean, just a little bit. We
we'll see. I mean, the division's not that great anyway.
Yeah, that's what I was like. As far as me just saying hell yeah, now I'm like the jury's still out.
and knowing our luck, Carson Wentz will figure it out in Washington, and they'll be stuck.
Nah, fuck all that. Him and his fucking hot dog too.
I'm with you, but knowing our luck, Todd, being Eagles fans, it's like, comes back in the division. He stunk with the Colts, but comes back in the division. Back to MVP form.
I kind of seeing us having a Monday Night Massacre #2 if we play them.
Oh
Monday
my God,
night.
I would love it.
I could see that happening, because that game with Donovan McNabb, oh my God,
and Michael Vick,
that was a game where they just kept going to the sideline. They kept going to the sideline. You saw fucking Donovan trying to give a speech, London Fletcher trying to give a speech. I was like, dude, there's nothing to talk about.
Nothing you can do.
It's like, dude, they scored 28 on us, and it's not even the end of the first.
That offense though that we had too. We had Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin, LaShawn McCoy, Jason Avant. We were loaded everywhere. We were loaded everywhere on offense.
That's probably the one team I really wish could have won the Super Bowl.
I
don't think you could have with them, but it would have been nice.
Yeah, it would have been great.
Well, we could have.
No,
that Minnesota
everyone
game.
wanted to get paid it because think about it. Deshaun wanted to get paid in 14.
Mhm.
What's his
McCoy.
McCoy wanted to get paid in 15, and then same thing with Macklin. Like if you paid all three guys, you don't win a Super Bowl.
No, I'm talking about not paying them. I mean that year.
That
year would have been nice, but it's just like
because I mean that
It's
rescheduling of that Minnesota game, and then Joe Webb, who fucking goes off on our ass,
Joe
and
Webb.
that fucked us
It killed
all
us,
up.
yep.
That rescheduling of the game.
it would have kept you out of Green Bay.
Yep. That's why I said that game alone fucked us all up. Even though that Green Bay game was close, it just fucked us all up because you gotta remember the reason why I wanted to stay away from Green Bay because that very first freaking game we had the Kelly Green on. Yep. They still beat us, but that game hurt the most because we lost Leonard Weaver. Leonard Weaver to me we would have been the tone setter for our offense. Because that was a fullback that could catch the ball out the field and could run like a running back. That by us losing him, that really set our freaking offense a little back. But that by us losing to Green Bay and Philly, and then we had to play them again in the playoffs, I did not have a good feeling about that game.
Yeah, no.
I really did.
But
final questions.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get out of here because Sixers game's on, and I don't want to keep the fam from watching the Sixers game. So.
Yeah, let's get to the game.
All right,
fam. As always, we appreciate you. Another great week, another great show. Got shows here every day on the platform. Got a bunch going on all the time. And if you guys like video games, I know Don's been paying attention. We are streaming on Twitch. Video games exclusively. Ralphie's been playing a little WWE, NCAA. The show's coming out soon. So Ralphie will be streaming that for sure. Andy plays Fortnite. So you have a little bit of everything as far as all that goes. So as always, guys, the Fan Friday is brought to you by Gleason's Bar. Gleason's Bar is located at 6700 Mill Creek Avenue in Levittown, PA. Use promo code A2D for 10% off your order whenever you dine in, take out, or order online at Gleason'sBarandSteaks.com. The promo code again is A2D for 10% off your order at Gleason'sBarandSteaks.com. And listen, got March Madness happening this weekend. So if you want solid picks and you want great picks, you want to make a little money, spend a little money, make a little money, become an A2D member, $9.99 a month. Perks include appearances on shows, members only live streams, shout outs, and weekly sports picks from Money Pop Podcast and Willie Vegas. Listen, they help you out, help you make a lot of money. So Nate's been hot. Wilson's been hot with his daily fantasy. So again, you can't beat it. But before we go, and while you're getting all those picks, you need a place to bet them, right? So no better place than BetUS. BetUS is a leading online sports book that has been in the business for over 25 years. You can bet anywhere in the U.S. on everything. Use the link below in our comment section, right below, for a 125% sign-up bonus. So, again, just giving. We're just giving to you guys. We're giving. But, as always, Jake Friel, Todd Womack, Pete Young. No Dan this week. Dan should be back next week. But, guys, love you. We'll catch you guys back next week on another edition of Fan Friday. Later, fam.